Yeah, those couldn't have been too good. They were way too hot for good. There we go. But when I'm like 35 years old with a 15-year-old kid and he's baby, I'm gonna fucking neck myself. Like, I know how disgusting that boy can be. He's a big crane. I'm fucked it completely. I'm absolutely fucked it. Oops.
Test 1, 2, 3.
Testing 1, 2, 3. Tuesday night football.
Live. Head to head. This is the second semi-final. We are live for the winner of this game will go straight into the grand final in the NTFL, rescheduled from the weekend after the visit by Cyclone Blanche with all her rain. I'm Ashley Manakaris. Joining me is Jared Eilert, 2 times Nichols medalist, and on the boundary line is Peter Atkinson. Peter, quick thoughts on the ground and the condition of the ground after all that rain at the weekend.
Yeah, no breeze down here at all. It's quite sticky and hot. So it's really going to test the players out a bit tonight, I think. But interesting, there's only 2 on the interchange for Wanderers for the full bench on the St Mary's side. And obviously 3 Motlops missing from the Eagles side at this stage, being Thomas Motlop, Marlon Motlop and Daniel Motlop.
And just the 1-8 out for the St Mary's side, and that's Anthony Wilson, as we see play primarily in the forward half of the Eagles so far. But Jared, just quickly, just Anthony Wilson missing out from that St Mary's side so far.
Yeah, I think that's just a byproduct of playing on a Tuesday night. As Wanderers get the first opportunity at goal, but the shot at goal goes off to the left. Number 28.
That's Hugo Drogamola. In fact, interestingly enough, Wanderers have brought 4 potential ruckmen into this game. Jared, do you see any rationale for that? They're clearly playing talls. Do you think the St Mary's defence is vulnerable to talls?
Yeah, look, I don't know if it's an actual deliberate tactic by Dean Rioli as coach of Wanderers. I think with 2 on the bench, it just might be a case of numbers.
Cameron Eilert there, pushed over and in front and in the back, you would have thought, but the umpire says, give it to me. Ridden into the ground there was Cameron Eilert.
You see it's slippery, though. So a lot of players in that passage of play just going to ground. So the ground is impacted by last week's heavy rain.
Cooper out the back to Jack Long. Clears it out of defence. It's 3 against 1. Picked up by Rioli. Short footpath to Raphael Clark in the middle. He has a look, no one on the mark, so he takes off running through the circle. Gives it off to Kinthari. It's going to bounce. He might get it. No, he can't. Coming through is McLean. Couldn't pick it up first time. Mitchell, Taylor, diving on it. Can't get it out. The ball will be balled up. Interestingly enough, for the last couple of weeks, the square was right across the far side of the ground, near the scoreboard almost. And tonight, it's very close to the Maurice Rioli grandstand as we see another high tackle. That's the second high tackle paid tonight in a short time, and that was Nathaniel Paredes, who was last week crowned the St Mary's best and fairest player. Gone 2 3/4 minutes, and we've had one score, the Eagles by a point. Winner through to the grand final. The loser will play off in the preliminary final this weekend. Rioli, long from 50, dawdles in, lines up the goal, and easy as you like. Gee, he made that look easy.
He just strolled through the 50 line, didn't he? And there was no pressure coming from Wanderers. And whilst he was weighing up his options, normally the coach would expect you to kick to the top of the square, play the percentages. But he had that much time and space, he basically had no choice but to have a shot at goal.
Peter, he was able to run a long way there without being contested. Just lines it up from about 48 out. No problems. A lot of pressure on Dean Rioli, the coach there, up on screen. St Mary's take a 5-point advantage early on. 3 3/4 minutes gone. 1 straight goal, 6 points. The Eagles 1 point. Back in the middle. One out by Saints. Eagles defence equal to the kick. Kicked out to space, heading towards the boundary line. Ryan Smith, the ruckman, will clean it up for St Mary's, then send it back inside the 50, looking for McFarlane. Knocked away from him, he recovers, then soccers it off the ground at goal. Ewing was there, but it's gone through for a point. Play will restart.
Just see the byproduct of having all those balls in the Wanderers team. Neil Beavy having to play an on-ball role.
Taking the short kick. For a kick up the line. Ball will be punched out of bounds. Lane was the target for the Eagles. Nicholas Yaron was there to chop it off, so he had no other options but to punch that ball away. Your umpires tonight are Stephen Panger, Paul Matthews and Jamison Galbraith. Paul Matthews in control, wearing number 1 tonight. Pereira couldn't get a quick kick away. Long Ken. His target was Clark, but it was punched away. Hacked off the ground. Erlandson trying to get rid of it. That's Jared Erlandson. Over the top. Now quick hands away. Here they come, the St Mary's. Cut off by Miles, though. McLean, hurried handball. Trying to relieve some pressure. Oh, the kick into the back hasn't gone anywhere. McFarlane can't get a hot handball.
It looks, obviously, as Peter said, very humid down there. The rain did dry up today, but it's still very, very muggy, and obviously the ground's still quite slippery underfoot. So going to keep both these teams in the contest. So if the players can keep that pressure rolling, keep the tackling pressure up, they're in with a chance.
As Luke Bath tried to soccer it off the ground, Shannon Rioli got it. Quick kick, hurried, up to full forward. Chopped off and kicked away. Back into the centre of the ground. It's a little bit of a hold and a free kick will be paid. Peter Atkinson, I noticed Simon Bates is actually not playing tonight either. He's a loss to the running side of the Eagles. Where the ball comes back into the middle of the ground. Wait for play to restart.
Crowd looks pretty good for a Tuesday night. Ash?
Well, I heard a figure on the way in of around about 1,300, 1,400. Not a bad crowd for a Tuesday night. Miles sets himself up. The two St Mary's players spoiled each other. Trying to clean it up, coming through. Couldn't get clean hands. Vivi's in there. Hurried kick away with strength. Load. Spoils Patrick. Cleaned up by Aaron Motlop. Short pass. Couldn't quite hit the target of Drugamulla. Not a bad build-up, though.
No, great attack there by Aaron Motlop, but we just see the interchange here for St Mary's, and that's obviously an area of the game that Rick Nolan's going to be pretty aware of, where they've got the upper hand.
Well, if they have, if there are two less on the bench, they will certainly need Wanderers. That is, a two less on the bench, then they'll need to be smart with their rotations. Shannon comes in. Shannon Motlop, Labastida picks it up, then bombs it straight up centre wing. Mark, though, taken comfortably by Daniel Wheatra. McFarlane. Wheatra looking for someone. He looks, picks out Miles. Smith came in to get it. Comes off the back. McLean. Loose ball. Borks then centres that kick. Looking for Aaron Motlop. Oh, one-handed grab.
Ferreira.
Or was it Ferreira? And he's been paid the mark. Put that on a highlights reel, I think, Jared.
Yeah, he got to the right spot at the right time there, and obviously both players trying to get the upper hand body strength-wise, but Ferreira just getting in front position at the right time as the ball came in, and he's certainly got a great opportunity to settle his team down, get the first goal for Wanderers.
Wasn't it too bad a build-up there? The ball hit the ground and suddenly the runners of the Eagles came into play. Braden McLean and Aaron Motlop. Ferreira now. He's roughly 25 metres out when he kicks. Pretty much directly in front. Doesn't have to do too much work. The goal umpire doesn't move. The all clear given. And the Eagles are on the board with their first goal.
And both teams have opted not to put pressure on the ball carrier. So you just see the ball come over the back to Braden McLean here, and I think it's John Anstess just allows Braden McLean the time and space to sum up his options. It's juggling mark.
Tremendous mark. Under enormous attention there by Iggy Valeggio. But he still managed to stick the hand out in what would be described as slippery conditions. Once that ball hits the ground, it's stuck.
A great confidence booster.
Smith versus Miles back in the middle. One out by Smith. Can they get the clearance away? Certainly running that way. Free kick's been found and it'll go to St Mary's. Advantage was paid. He got wrapped up though quickly and the ball will be thrown up. Now the players swarm around that ball. Shannon Motlop, Cooper with a quick handball over the top. It's all traffic. Held up was Bo Cabillo. Play will be restarted. Quick kick, tapped down by Shannon Rioli. Looking for Raf Clark. That was Geary, couldn't pick it up. Mitchell Taylor slung off it. Ball's loose. Diving in was Cooper. The ball's going to be held up. Well, it's about 35 metres out from the St Mary's goal. Good field position for the green and gold. Comes out the back. Williams puts it on the boot. And the only one really contesting that mark was McFarlane, and he's come down with it.
He had eyes for the football, all eyes for the football, and didn't worry about anything else. Bit of pushing and shoving in the goal square, but still happening.
Well, I think he might have tripped over his own feet there.
Peter McFarlane, as he lines up for goal, he shouldn't make a mistake, but he's playing his 200th AFLNT game. He's won 7 premierships with the St Mary's Football Club, 4 of them as captain. He's won a Nichols medal, and he's penciling his name as one of the absolute greatest centre-half forwards in the competition, but one of the best players the St Mary's Football Club's ever seen.
11 and a quarter minutes gone here in this first term. St Mary's 2 goals, 1-13. The Eagles 1 goal, 1-7.
Lines up more than favourably with past St Mary's centre-half forward champ, probably headed by Kaji Dunn.
Yeah, he does. I got to tell you, Peter, picking the St Mary's team of the century in about 30 years' time is going to be an absolute challenge for that panel.
Good luck to them, I'll be honest.
Yeah, agreed.
Smith taps it down, but it's all taken high there, but play on is the call. Quick hands came out, free kicks found in the end, and a high tackle will be paid. Looks like it's going to go to Paredes. In fact, it's Brian Fenton. Well, he went down. Bave was sort of, gee, you know, that was pretty lucky that wasn't contact below the knees. Anyway, it's play on, it's gone forward, punched away. Inside the Saints 50, they get it they're under pressure, the Eagles, trying to get it out. One-handed handball. Yaron picks up the loose ball, goes into the square. McFarlane's there again, chops it out of the air, can't get a clean kick though. Brenton Motlop picks it up and gets a hurry kick out, but sends it out of bounds on the full. And St Mary's have a chance to bring it back in. And this time it'll be Paredes. Probably well within kicking range.
He certainly is, and Wanderers have done a great job to just all push back and clog up the hole. There's no one for Wanderers outside the 50.
And it's a centering kick, but it's chopped off.
And watch the spread from Wanderers now. They're going to have to run this ball up to the forward line, and Liam Patrick's going to have to do a mountain of work to be an option up forward.
That was Joel Cabillo. Back to Braden McLean. McLean trying to get it outside that 50.
Skills.
Drogomella's had to come a long way up for a kick. Good handball play on there to Motlop. Now he's just going to bomb it into that 50. Running onto it is Tippin Woody. 2 steps, right foot outside, inside, and it's through for a goal.
Just the advantage of that quick handball. Don't allow St Mary's to push back and set up the defensive wall. And you could just see that unfolding, couldn't you? All that space out the back. And Tippin Woody, just with the speed. A clever little grubber finished the goal.
Well, Motlop very cleverly there, kicked it into space, knew that there was a speedster on the other end, Peter.
Yeah, and his backup was Liam Patrick. So then.
Not too bad if they're the two quickest, if they're the 2 blokes you've got as an option out in front in an open paddock. I'll give it to Carl Load. He did have a crack, but Tippin Woody would outrun most people over 10 metres. Neither ruckman can get a finger on it. Paredes can't pick it up. It's tapped away. Socket off by Jack Long. Here they come again, the Eagles. Aaron dances out of one. Then just puts it up in the air looking for a diving Liam Patrick, who takes it, then loses it, tries to recover, dragged off it. Play on is the call. I thought the umpire put his whistle to his mouth. It's picked up by Erlinson. Hurried handball. Tippin Woody's in there and cleaning it up is Kinthari. No. Is Michael Coombs. And the ball will be thrown in about 25 metres around from the point post.
Yeah, Liam Patrick's not happy with himself because he had purchase on that mark. He just didn't quite stick it.
Well, they stood there and looked at him, the St Mary's defenders, I thought then, Jared. Out it comes out the back end. Moroney got wrapped up without it. VV. Handball over the top. Tippin Woody, don't know what he was thinking, but he knew. He couldn't get his foot on it, though. It's stripped out over the top. Here comes St Mary's out of defence. Mitchell Taylor trying to back into it, couldn't get it. VV comes in and picks it up, sends it forward again, loose. Ben Rioli for his first touch. Here they come again. Tippin Woody trying to get a hold of it. Now he does. Patrick can't beat the first tackle. Quick hands to no one. Load off the ground. Shannon Rioli comes in and cleans it up, gives it off to Ben. Now they're away through Kinthari. A leading Ewing. It's a foot race between him and Motlop.
Labastida in there to help. Mitchell Taylor in with a strong tackle, but the umpires picked out a free kick. Holding without the ball. Quick handball to Kinthari, but under immense pressure by Mitchell Taylor. Ball goes through for a behind, so good ball movement, good running, hard running by St Mary's out of defence for that scoring opportunity, but not able to convert the major.
Well, goals may well prove to be a premium tonight. The winner's through to the grand final. Yeah, and
the loser is heavily disadvantaged with the Tuesday night game. Obviously, Nycliffe is sitting there waiting. They'll be in the grandstands watching. The short recovery time. Not impossible, though.
No, it's not. It's happened before. Yaron cleans up. Usually pretty good by foot. And he is this time as well, and he picks out Raphael Clark. Well, free kick got found there. Perhaps there was some holding prior to the contest. Straight back to the crowd. Storer couldn't mark it. Taken high was McFarlane, let go. Bellagio off to the Cameron Islet. Sends it up to full forward. Ewing at the back. Can't get clean possession. Tries to soccer it out of the air and hits the post. Well, Braden McLean's in a hurry to bring it back in. He hasn't really got any targets. He goes anywhere, he's got to go short. He's got Daniel Wheatra open to him. The kick, a sliding Wheatra has spoiled it. Yaron got legged, let go, recovers, then got taken high, and then got slung off and let go. Plenty of time. No holding the ball call. Play on. Ferreira, 2-on-1. Doesn't worry about picking it up, just sockets it on. Keep that ball moving forward. Key message. Oh, beautiful pick up there by Bath. One-handed, then sends it back to full forward. McFarlane taken high, dragged down.
Kinthari, quick snap on goal in the right spot, front and centre. But ball drifting off to the left.
Well, we're about 90 seconds away from time on. 2 goals 4-16 plays 2 goals 1-13. Saints keeping the pressure on them in the last few minutes here in this first term. It's a long clearing kick out from fullback. Erlandson couldn't get his clean hands but recovers quickly. Steps back inside, he's got options. Picks out Moroney. Moroney can come all the way across. It's not a great kick. He was looking for Shannon Motlop, but it's dropped on the ground. Ben Rioli couldn't clean it up. Load just happened to be in the right spot. Chips it back over the top. Coming through strongly though, and taking a very good grab was Wheatra. Plays on quickly, but the kick is not up to the mark. Drugamala in with body. Off the ground, it comes in forward again. Paredes bumped off it as he's kicked. The ball has gone through for another point. The score could easily be 5 goals 2, Jared, not 2 goals 5.
Yeah, look, it's certainly wet weather conditions out there, even though it might not look like it on screen. And coming into this game, St Mary's and Wanderers have met 3 times throughout the season. Round 14, St Mary's got up by 63 points. Round 11, St Mary's won by 27. Round 7, St Mary's up by 70. But all we know, if Wanderers make the finals, they are a threat no matter where they finish.
They certainly are, and they seem to have lifted in the last week or two, have the Eagles. Ball's cut off across half-back. The Eagles will look at switching it out onto this grandstand side. Braden McLean goes back to where the ball came from.
Tell you what, Daniel Wheatra and Braden McLean are just racking up the possessions.
Very good. Into top.
Mansell. Handball wasn't great, put his teammate under pressure. Now they force the error. Kinthari can't get a hold of it, dragged off it. And in fact has been pinged for holding the ball.
Done a couple of good things, Joel Walsh. He's been right there with Peter McFarlane in a couple of contests, and a good tackle there to win the free kick.
McFarlane punching it out of the air onto Aaron Motlop now, who picks up the crumbs. He's got a hurried left foot kick in front of that scoreboard. Good use of the body there was Ferreira. Plays on. In fact, he's been pinged for a push in that marking contest. Hands in the back. Justin Cooper. Long-ranging kick finds Cameron Island on the bounce. He's got space. He's got to go back inboard. This looks dangerous. Iggy Villagio. Across to Anstess. Out to Bath. Here he gives a handball over the top. Now they've got the runner in Yarran. Taylor got his hands on it. There's Walsh again. Taken high. Play on is the call. No. Free kick will be paid.
First time that St Mary's have actually taken the footy side to side and tried to spread the Wanderers' defence. And we know St Mary's are a fit team and they're going to be there for 4 quarters. What the danger signs are for St Mary's, but the positives for Wanderers at the moment, that they're actually beating them on the outside with pace, and they're actually beating them over the back with pace as well. So if they can maintain that for 4 quarters, it's going to be very interesting.
It's going to be interesting to see the impact of the 2 interchange against 4 interchange as well. Saints are rotating heavily.
As Ben Rioli puts it on the right boot for a snap, and I think he's kicked it. He has.
As he jogs back to the back line, I did take note, he's kicked a lot of goals this season, Ben Rioli. He's been a bit of a revelation up forward for St Mary's, but he's worked all the way up forward from the back line.
And Saints wouldn't be unhappy with this first quarter, remembering that they've come off that bye weekend while the others played the elimination and qualifying finals.
It'll take them a bit of time to get into some rhythm, but they're in the rhythm at the moment. Nearly 23 minutes gone, 3 minutes of time on. 3 goals, 5-23 to 2 goals, 1-13. Storer was uncontested, so he got it himself, then put it straight on the boot to centre half forward. Using his body was Ewing, and a free kick will go against him because he used it a little bit too well, too early. And McLean. Peter, that's a big job for McLean, isn't it, on Darren Ewing?
Yeah, it's a gutsy move by Dean Rioli, but these are some of the risks he's going to have to take tonight.
Yes, those rotations, I think, are going to hurt not only obviously on and off the bench, but in positions as well. A lot of players are going to have to play out of their comfort zone, a lot through different positions, like VV on ball, going to have to pick up a small.
He's been playing with great confidence though, Braden McLean's been playing really good footy.
Benton being told to get a move along. He kicks it in short and picks out Labastida. Well, that was a grass cutter. The kick had to be good because it's very congested in that St Mary's forward line as the emergency umpire is out on the field. So there's a bit of push and shove, a bit of feeling. As Labastida will go back and have a shot from goal about 30 metres out.
There always is when Wanderers and St Mary's play, Ash.
Yeah. And they've played off in the last couple of grand finals. As Labastida goes up and forward and leans back and puts it through, and his teammates come in to congratulate him. 4 goals, 5-29, plays 2 goals, 1-13.
I have to tell you, this is the biggest crowd I've seen in the grandstand for a game this season. Obviously affected by the free admission, but certainly these 2 clubs, the rivalry is a great attraction to people too.
And what do you think about football on a Tuesday night, Pete? Do you think that's had an influence?
In a positive way?
In a positive way, in the context
that
there's
no competition. You're right on that point. Yeah, interesting. Not good for the players when they have to front up again at the weekend.
No, Raf Clark coming off with a blood rule there. Bath will be his replacement. I'll wait for him to get back too. I said there was a bit of feeling up forward. There must have been.
Good thing about tonight and the crowd and the point Peter's making is the atmosphere for the players.
It's good for them.
It's a semi-final. The winner goes straight to a grand final. The loser has to play Nycliffe. So there's a lot on the stake, a lot on the line here.
Williams judges it best, then holds it aloft. Yarran was early. Ferreira got fingers on it. Quick hands, Tip and Woody. Keeps it inside the boundary line by millimetres. Then puts it on the boot, but there's no one there, and he picks out Fenton. St Mary's through Fenton. Go out of defence into attack. Coombs got his hands on it. Oh, taken high play on is the call. Paredes. The leading Ewing. Brenton Motlop. Slow to get there. Back inside to McFarlane was clever from Ewing. Paredes, who's run on. Through the middle of the ground, he's in the forward pocket, dances around one, then looks for a centering kick. He's got Kenthari.
How's the tap by Darren Ewing, but just the work rate by Paredes. He got the ball in the middle of the ground, kicked it forward, kept pushing, and a clever little kick to Kenthari.
And also from McFarlane, who knew that there were teammates streaming down the ground. But Paredes with enough awareness and presence to hold it up. As Kenthari from directly in front, 35 metres out, drifts it off to the right-hand side. Peter, I think we're starting to see at this late stage, and we've nearly gone 27 minutes here in this first term, I think we're starting to see the fatigue of having two interchange already.
Yeah, it might be a bit early for that to be a factor, but obviously one of the rotations is the ruckman. The other is an interesting one. It involves Shannon Motlop, who I thought they might try and protect tonight anyway, in case they have to front up Saturday.
Well, I was a little bit surprised that he actually played. Moroney, Miles, then Ferreira. Tipamorty drops what he should have taken, but recovers good enough and sends it forward, but the siren sounds. So at the end of the first quarter here, the loser goes out. The loser will go through to the preliminary final, and the winner goes through to the grand final. It's St Mary's who lead Wanderers 4 goals 630 to 2 goals 113.
Time to escape, 'cause I'm in need of warmer weather. Sail upon the stream to find there's someplace better. And I'm going far and wide.
Great Northern Brewing Co. The beer from up here.
Just another beautiful day in the territory, yeah?
Doesn't get any better.
Yeah. You guys catch anything yet? Nah, nothing yet. But we're feeling lucky. See you later.
Road tyres.
Yeah, soft sand.
And a 7-metre tyre. What could possibly go wrong?
Plenty.
Local knowledge is important. Talk to us about TIO Comprehensive Car Insurance. Call us today on 131 TIO. TIO, we're for Territorians.
This summer, pass your personal best. Pass the time doing things you love. Pass the Sunsense, please. Sunsense SPF 50+ is a very high UV sunscreen, sold only in pharmacies, that's made right here in Australia for Australian conditions. And for the best price on Sunsense, you can't go past Chemist Warehouse.
Intersport, new concept store, now open in Casuarina Square. Come in and check out our world-class shopping experience. Now stocking only the biggest brands in tennis, cricket, fitness from treadmills to benches, boxing, swimming, darts, pool and table tennis. For awesome service and advice, still locally owned and operated, the all-new Intersport concept store.
Introducing Southern Cross Television's NTFL broadcast partners. TIO, we're for Territorians. Kenard Tire, making your job easy. Alpha, Australia's largest Indigenous Aboriginal corporation.
It's the Eagles with the work to do. 17 points deficit for them as we get the second term underway in the NTFL Final Series, second semi-final. The winner through to the grand final, the losers through to the preliminary final. And just quickly, Peter Atkinson, I noticed you down at the St Mary's huddle. What did Rick Nolan have to say?
He's pretty keen to try and open the play out a bit and exploit the fact that they've got players playing so defensively. So to that end, they're trying to free up, and they have at the moment, as we can see, Eilert across half-back, and he and Iggy Vallejo have the role of trying to penetrate that defensive crowding of the forward line for Saints.
Was he happy, Peter? Did he mention at all their work rate and their shots on goal in terms of just missed opportunities?
No, he was pretty unhappy because he said for the first time in the season the stats showed that they had more missed tackles than effective tackles. That was one, and he certainly identified 3 or 4 players he felt were playing below their best.
Interesting. Jared, just quickly, Ben Rioli kicked his 26th goal for the season. A handy pickup when he's a defender.
Yeah, absolutely. And the other goal kickers for St Mary's, Henry Labastida, Shannon Rioli and Peter McFarlane, all singles. For Wanderers, Adam Tipper-Moody and Davin Ferreira, 1 each.
As Jackson Geary got a ball tunnelled out to him, don't know if it was deliberate, but he got it and he's put it through from 45 out. So St Mary's open up the scoring 90 seconds into the second term. 5 goals, 6:36 they are. Wanderers trail 2 goals, 1:13. The work ahead. Let's watch this replay. Very clever. Maroney for Wanderers. Tunnelled it out. There's Geary. 3 steps. You'll take those any day of the week, Jared?
Yeah, absolutely. He's a class player, and he's a player that will continue to run for 4 quarters. So for him to get an early goal in the second quarter is danger signs.
Well, Drogamulla goes into the ruck for the Eagles. We talked about him having 4 ruck options. Drogamulla's 1. Coombs. Handballs out to Jack Long. Chip over the top. Smith fumbled it. Erlinson picked up the crumbs. Looking for Aaron Motlop versus Iggy Vallejo. The 2 number 4s go at it. Vallejo looked like he's tapped it out and the ball will be thrown in. Eagles crowd calling for a deliberate out of bounds there, Jared. Ambitious?
Oh, look, I've seen it been called. I've seen it been called.
Right in front of the Eagles coach's box. Ball will be brought back into play. It's a good roost too from the boundary umpire. Smith got his hands on it. On to Fenton. Quick kick. Oh, Ben Rioli was taken very high then. Advantage paid. The running, fleet-footed Justin Cooper had a bounce in sloppy conditions. The ball and the conditions beat him. Yeah, a bounce. That was a fairly high hit on Ben as we watch this replay. Bang.
Certainly was.
I think the match review panel might have a close look at that.
Just going to the bounce though, it's never going to come back up. Trying to have a bounce in these conditions.
Well, a free kick has been paid to Ben for a hold at the stoppage. Shannon just to his right. No one's with him. Well, he thought about giving it off there for a split second, Jared. But he decides to go in short and finds the running Cameron Eilert into a hole.
That's
Doesn't improve the angle, but he does improve the closeness.
Yeah, but what the positive about Cameron getting the kick now is that he's actually playing that spare player off half back.
Sure. Okay.
So he's just
Which you said
drifted
at the
all the way forward. So
and no one's run with him. Cameron Eilert will go in. Quite a tight angle. 30 out and he leans back into it and it doesn't matter. Doesn't worry about the angle. Puts it straight through. 6 goals, 6 they move to 2 goals, 1.
they didn't pick up the free kick to Ben Rioli.
It was a high shot. I didn't quite get the player's number. But he certainly didn't miss him, Jared.
Just a couple of notes from the first quarter. I thought obviously Wanderers looking dangerous on the outside with their speed and over the back with their speed. St Mary's had a lot of possession but wasted it. They certainly started the second quarter with a bang.
Smith with a clean palm out. Came out the back. Bo Cabillo cuts off the kick. Gives it off to Braden McLean. Then tries to put on a Shepherd. McLean looks for the smallest bloke and kicks it to the biggest bloke. And Aaron has to use his body and takes out Ryan Smith, and in the process gives away a free kick. He gives a quick hands though off to Bath. They're not waiting around for it. They want it up forward straight away. Raf Clark's the target. Punched away by the Eagles defence.
The reason given to by Wanderers that they've only got 20 is that they were told by the league they couldn't use any of their reserves grade players because they hadn't played 5 Premier League games. It's a bit of a surprise, the interpretation, but that's what they're being told, and that's why they're playing with 20.
I would have thought you're able to play up as long as you're registered in the comp. If you've been playing Division 1 all year and you've got to play up, I would have thought that would have been okay, Jared.
Especially for a game like tonight.
Well, the finals, I mean, you know, Moroney over the top to Erlitzson, centre wing. The Eagles wanting to get it inside the forward 50, and they do just, but it's loose and bouncing. Cameron Eilert, last goal kicker, under pressure there from Tip and Woody. Great pressure to lock it in. That's the type of forward desperation that the Eagles need at this point of the game.
Yep, and that's that speed again that they were able to get those 2 goals in the first quarter just through getting the ball in the space and hitting it with pace.
Patrick takes the contest. A hurried up and under kick. Patrick palms it off. Ferreira can't pick it up. Sock it off by Yaron. Foot race. Ferreira, just a beautiful shepherd to take him out of the play. And then got taken in the back was Bath, but play on is the call. Patrick can't clean it up. Hurried hands away to Drugamullah. Balks once, then gives it back. VV can't get a handball away, so he throws it on the boot. Shannon Rioli skirts the boundary line, keeps it in, quick hands to load, then gets it back. Then gives it over the top. Paredes caught. And the ball has been blown out of bounds. Just inside the 50, I think, Jared.
Yeah, well, that's the finals intensity that we and the crowd have come to see. Shannon Rioli running out of space and running the ball over the boundary line. Chance for Wanderers.
Storer. Williams, hurried kick, just bounces in. In rugby league terms, if that was a 40-20, then that's a pretty good 40-20, but it's not.
It's
benefit of the doubt given.
Chewed up some space, quick kick out of the ruck, uncontested.
Storer versus Miles, both holding. Punched away. Ferreira can't get clean hands on it. It's greasy. Yaron picks it up, hurried on the boot. Cooper. The ball will go out of bounds through the St Mary's interchange gate. Kick. Play will be restarted. Not many options whatsoever for the Eagles up forward. Well and truly manning up. There's that loose man Eilert. Just coming onto a Braden McLean who's drifted down. Ball's kicked along the lines. Miles, Motlop. Long disrupts him. Bath comes in to pick it up. Tapped over the top. Long, hurried kick. Doesn't go anywhere really. On the hands and knees is Paredes. Well, through that out. It's let go. Play on's the call. Drugamullah can't get clean hands. Still loose. Drugamullah, hurried kick. Geary in there. He's caught. Taken high, though, in the contest. And that'll be Keelan Fijo who gave away that free kick. Geary in the centre. Ewing. He had 2 to beat, punched away from him. Kinthari with a little chip over the top. Finds Ewing. It just went the bare 15 metres, but far enough. Ewing can look up to full forward where Cooper's found himself. Well, he just sort of snuck around the back of the Eagles' defence there. It was a great kick from Darren Ewing.
It certainly is wet weather footy, and there's great hands by Justin Cooper to hold on to that ball because it came in pretty low and hard.
Centimetre perfect is what Darren Ewing will probably be telling his teammates at the club later on tonight. As Cooper, not far out, not much of an angle, all clear. So 7 goals, 6-48 St Mary's move along to as we approach the 10-minute mark. The Eagles are stuck on 2 goals, 1-13. We're in the second term.
It's not really a game for the key forwards. Obviously, we haven't seen too much from Peter McFarlane, Darren Ewing, Liam Patrick on the other side of the ledger. It's going to be about making that contest. It's about getting numbers to the front or to the fall of the ball, and then making the most of the opportunities when you're in front of goal.
Peter Atkinson, I see Jackson Geary just limping off then. Gone straight into the room for some treatment, pointing to his ankle.
I'll get an update on that as soon as we can.
Benton out of the middle. Miles can't get it. Off the ground. Joel Cabillo up and under. Miles again punches it away. Storer roving. Maroney just punched clear. Tupinwoody goes in to try and pick it up. Difficult in the greasy. Can't get clean position. Dragged off by Fenton. Williams puts it straight on the boot. Iggy Villagio finds himself inside the 50. Time and space. Back to McFarlane. McFarlane hurried right foot kick in his 200th game. Puts it through for a point.
Raf Clark was in as an option in the goal square. Warning, just centre it for me. Peter McFarlane. Mitch Taylor with the kicking duties.
Well, see if he just decides to go for it, then kicks it to himself. Now he goes to unload. And it's a spiralling mongrel torpedo.
Famous Mitch Taylor kick out.
But it's been marked by Shannon Rioli, who read that best out of everyone. And a long thumping kick centering, looking for Raf Clark. Over the back is Ferreira. No other options, but he's got to kick it inside out towards the boundary line. Cooper picks it up. And a hurried handball into Paredes. Mansell's in there, putting him under pressure. Paredes gets a hurried handball away. High, I thought was taken, was Ferreira, but let go. Still loose.
Good pressure by the Wanderers there, because they were certainly outnumbered. As you can see, it's 5 on 2, 5 on 3. So that's a win for them.
Miles just got fingertips on it. Ferreira couldn't get it under pressure. Seven goals, 7-49. 12 and a half minutes gone in this second term. Plays 2 goals, 1-13. Smith versus Miles. Fenton falling. Back to Jack Long, who then puts it on the boot looking for Villagio. It's punched away, though, by Drugamullah. Darren Ewing tries to pick it up. Brenton Motlop does. Hurried kick out to that scoreboard side. Bouncing loose ball. Joel Cabillo in there. Dances around his teammate, his opponent, then picks it up, but he's got 2 to beat. Coombs knocks it back to Load. Then back to Williams. Kinthari. And then he just takes off from Mitchell Taylor. Right foot centering. Drugamullah again punches the ball away loose. Ben Rioli's in there, in the pocket. Oh, taken high. Play on. No, he'll get the free kick.
It's a high energy sort of game plan they've got at the moment, because Wanderers are having to play defensive. They have to run the ball out. Ben Rioli plays on quickly. The umpire calling it 50 metres, but he's kicked the goal anyway. And Ben Rioli kicks his second goal.
His 27th for the season.
Nice little snap from the boundary line. You just see Kinthari was waiting for that opportunity to take off and play on as quickly as possible. Really, something out of nothing here.
Yeah, well, look, it was just one of those things that in trying to go in and stop the ball, Joel Walsh caught him high. Free kick got paid. No question, absolutely no question about that. And Peter Atkinson, Jackson Geary back up on his feet, going towards the interchange.
Very keen to get back on. He went to the interchange bench and then got called back to the phone. I'm sure Coach Rick Nolan doesn't want to take any chances whatsoever with him. So I think,
no, he's limping
sure
back to.
Yeah, he may rest him, give him more time to recover, perhaps.
Fenton, the leading Ewing, straight out of the middle. It's like a training drill then, Jared, wasn't it? Tap down from the ruckman, midfielder. It's the full forward. Yeah,
and again, it's just you do feel for Wanderers because they're having to play a defensive game, and it's just burning a lot of energy with only 2 on the bench.
Peter, if you're Dean Rioli, and I appreciate that we're only 15 minutes into this second term as Darren Ewing goes back and he gets some cheers from his teammates because he's just kicked their 8th goal for St Mary's, 9th goal. 9 goals, 761 to 2 goals, 113. Peter, what does Dean Rioli say to his Chargers at half-time?
Well, he can't encourage them to change their approach, so he's got to encourage them to work as hard as they can towards and through the systems that they've tried to play with, even though they're undermanned. So I would imagine that it'd be unlikely that he'll try and have the players go back a gear. Unlikely, in fact, impossible to do that. Players just compete.
It presents itself an interesting challenge. Tuesday night football. Miles versus Smith. Whistle's gone. Hold off the ball. So Fenton was dragged down. Nicky Yaron plays on to Bath. Just sets it up. Smith is down there, off hands. Coming through as Ewing. Socket off the ground and just to the right. So he had a chance to get his second in a minute.
If he socketed that with his left foot, might have gone through, but he socketed it with his right one.
Well, in his defence, it did bounce in the square and veer to the right of that post. Braden McLean trying to send that ball out of the defensive 50. It bounces over Vivi in a contest with McFarlane. Intercepted by McFarlane. The handball onto Island, onto the running Yaron from 50 metres. Sets it up in the square. Raph Clark is in there, got his hands on it. They'll run it out of there though, the Eagles. The pressure's released, but only as far as centre half back and only as far as Ryan Smith, the St Mary's ruckman. He goes in short and finds Cameron Islet, who is on the 50-metre line. True 50-metre position. Can your brother kick it from here?
He thinks he can.
But what does his brother think? What does the older, wiser brother think?
I think he's a fair chance at making the distance and the accuracy. He's certainly got the upper hand on me with the goal kick he takes.
And he goes off short, so he mustn't have had too much confidence. It was a shocker of a kick too to Bath onto Jack Long. Long looking for Ben Rioli over his fingertips, though. They're playing around with it until it's picked up by Paredes and says, leave it to me. You guys want to play around with it at 50? I'll sort it out at 25.
Yeah, that's right.
He doesn't run well in the nickels, but very surprising. He's so clean and great skills.
Well, he just showed that then, Peter, didn't he? I mean, replay there and half a step. Right foot snap. It wasn't a long way out, but still had to steady.
got a high work rate as well, so he'll get to one contest, the second one, the third one, and will actually just keep pushing the ball forward.
He reminds me a lot of you, Jared.
Does he?
Rate him a lot higher.
Peter, what are you chasing? 19 minutes gone here in the second term. 10 goals, 868 to 2 goals, 113. Been given a more accurate crowd figure, and that crowd figure is 2,600. 2,600 patrons have made their way in tonight to watch this game. Not a bad result, Peter. Back on centre wing. Now the square is closer to the Morris Rioli grandstand than it has been the last couple of weeks. The ball's loose on the ground. Everyone's just waiting for it to come out. Now it does. Vivi trying to hurriedly pick it up and get it out. Still loose. Yaron on the bottom of that. Play will be restarted. Stora took front position. Got first use. Paredes. Labastida couldn't pick it up. Socketed on. Joel Cabillo just bumped off it. Coming through was Aaron Motlop. Wrapped up there by Mikey Coombs, and a free kick will go to Aaron Motlop for a high tackle. He goes sideways. Finds Braden McLean, who has to step around the man on the mark, and he's got time. Over the top though, not a great kick. It's going to be 2-on-1. Williams dances around, gives it back to Coombs. Coombs looks inboard. He's got Shannon Rioli. They're pretty well manned up, the Eagles. So the kicks have got to be good. That one is, and finds Islet. Coombs. It's in front of that centre, the scoreboard on that far wing.
Just getting a lot of run from behind the football at the moment, just pushing into those gaps that Wanderers are allowing them to have, and the ball goes over the back
to Stora.
Trent Stora.
Well, I think you'll find that might have been Carl Load coming off the back flank then. You talked about the run off the back flank, and Load just kept pressing up.
Yeah, again, it's a byproduct of having to play defensive, so your midfielders are always going to push forward. The next line, the half-forwards are going to have to roll up, but they didn't, which allowed half-back flankers like Carl Load to push into that space in front. Kick over the back this time. It's to the big fella, the big ruckman. Waiting for it, getting the crumbs. So you like them.
Very, very good build-up then. Very good build-up by the St. Mary's. All it would have taken was one fumble, one error. They were opened up, but it didn't. They kept control. Fenton, very serviceable game. Taken high and in the back, let go, play on. Still in there with his hands on it. Drags it under.
Very interesting stat is that St. Mary's have 11 goals on the board. 10 different goal kickers.
Spread it around. 11 goals, 874, plays 2 goals, 113. Yaron dragged without it, and will get a free kick for his trouble. Advantage played. Paredes. Drugamulla couldn't mark it. Socket on by Shannon Rioli. From 40 out, he goes goalward. A little bit of a kick and hope. Ewing perhaps could have got there. It goes through for a point. Got to go in short, does Braden McLean, and he does. Dragged off, it was Coombs, and will get a free kick for his troubles. He gets called to play on. Loose, Vivi. Just puts it straight up the middle of the ground and no one in particular. It's cut off by Jack Long. Then out to Raf Clark. He's got Bath. He goes over the top looking for Cooper. Cooper hasn't got a lot of targets. He could take off if he wanted Justin Cooper and just go for goal, and he does. From 48, he lines up, trying to hook it around. Just doesn't come around far enough or quick enough.
Not a bad effort.
Well, there was no one on the mark. It was just go, go, go. I thought the St. Mary's supporters were urging him on then. Labastida gets it back. Then just sends it back to centre half forward. Fenton in there. Couldn't quite mark it. Ewing can't quite pick it up, so he sockers it off the ground. This could wobble anywhere. Trying to pick it up is Yaron. He sprays his shot at goal across the face. 11 goals, 11, 77, plays 2 goals, 113. 24 and a quarter minutes gone in this second term. Very important game. Winners through to a grand final.
Well, if there's one positive to come out of this game for Wanderers, it's absolutely the amount of football that Braden McLean's getting at the moment.
Looks for the big guy, Miles. Punched away from him, roved by Ryan Smith. Cooper, quick hands, off to Coombs. Coombs back to Fenton. Fenton just puts it into the square, punched away from Ben Rioli. Labastida's there. If he can get clean hands, he can get a shot at goal, and he does. Has to beat one to do it, though.
Yeah, just a little fumble, but he still had to get around 2 Wanderers defenders to have a clean shot at goal, and as soon as he found that space, he just nailed it.
They just seem to step up a level if there is a goal on offer, Jared.
Yeah, look, I guess every single player out there that pulls on the footy boots loves kicking goals. And when you've got a bit of time and space, I make the most of them.
Nice work.
Great celebration.
Peter, the halftime break important to reset, refocus, go again.
Yeah, I've got to, Wanderers will have to set some short-term goals. That was a high tackle. There wouldn't want to be any players missing major games in the next couple of weeks.
No, and Jack Long has come in to remonstrate. Let's have a look at this. That's Paredes. Oh. Well, I'd say that will be looked at closely by the match review panel tomorrow, or this week. And Paredes gets to his feet. It looked like Shannon Motlop coming through there, Jared.
Yeah, it was, and certainly want Shannon Motlop available for the rest of the final series.
Cameron Hylett called to play on. Jack Williams is who he picks out. Underground kick. Aaron Motlop chops it off. Beats one, then decides to have a bounce, then decides to have a second one. And a third. Now he just sends it inside the 50. It's cut off though by Cameron. Dropped. Play on's the call. Liam Patrick's in there. Cameron Islet onto Nicky Yaron. Yaron over the top. They've got space and runners. Williams, Fenton. Fenton can come back in board to Labastida, but he decides to hold it up. They can bring it right across to this Morris Rioli side. Jack Long slips at a crucial time just to disrupt their momentum. Doesn't matter. Good kick, quick hands. Bath sends it up to centre half forward. They've got time to chop it off, the Eagles. Erlitzson versus Shannon Rioli. In there is Coombs, quick hands onto Ben Rioli from 49. Borks then handballs to himself from the boundary line. He skirts one, breaks out of it. Takes a step, hasn't smothered though. Mitchell Taylor chops it out of the air. A diving Labastida can't mark it. Walsh can't pick it up, dragged off it. Siren sounds to end the first half, and St Mary's go in with a very handy lead. 12 goals, 11, 83. They lead Wanderers 2 goals, 1, 13.
Time to escape, 'cause I'm in need of warmer weather.
Just another beautiful day in the territory, yeah?
Does it get any better?
Yeah. You guys catch anything yet? Nah, nothing yet. But we're feeling lucky. See you later.
Road tyres.
Yeah, soft sand.
And a 7-metre tyre. What could possibly go wrong?
Plenty.
Local knowledge is important. Talk to us about TIO Comprehensive Car Insurance. Call us today on 131 TIO. TIO, we're for Territorians.
This summer, pass your personal best. Pass the time doing things you love. Pass the sunsets, please. Sunsense SPF 50 Plus is a very high UV sunscreen sold only in pharmacies that's made right here in Australia for Australian conditions. And for the best price on Sunsense, you can't go past Chemist Warehouse.
Intersport, new concept store now open in Casuarina Square. Come in and check out a world-class shopping experience. Now stocking only the biggest brands in tennis, cricket, fitness from treadmills to benches, boxing, swimming, darts, pool and table tennis. For awesome service and advice, still locally owned and operated, the all-new Intersport concept store.
Introducing Southern Cross Television's NTFL broadcast partners. TIO, we're for Territorians. Kennard's Hire, making your job easy. Alpha, Australia's largest Indigenous Aboriginal corporation.
And we are underway in the third term here in a 17-point quarter time lead turned into a 70-point half-time lead for St Mary's. The work for the Eagles ahead of them. As the ball goes forward, Ben Rioli taps it out off the ground quickly. Coming through though and blocking it off is Brenton Motlop. And Jared was saying at the break, the work really is ahead for Wanderers and made even harder by only having 2 on the bench.
Yeah, obviously.
Guys, they don't have any on the bench now.
Yeah, right.
They're playing with 18, which is even worse.
All right, Pete, thank you for that. So, Jared, down to 18. Work ahead of them.
Yeah, look, obviously it's a huge task in front of them. And the start of the game, Wanderers came out defensively. Now just let them play football. See if they can just attack the ball, just be creative, play on instinct. See if they can create some scoring opportunities up forward.
And Peter, Jackson Geary, I noticed, came from the halftime break with no shoes on, so it doesn't look like he is going to take any further part.
I would say that's just precaution. With the scoreboard the way it is, understandable.
Ball is loose. Ball comes out to Tip and Woody, who has an absolute paddock in front of him. So he has 2 bounces. And then a third. Runs in front of the scoreboard. Well, he was looking for Liam Patrick, but got cut off by Iggy Villagio, who goes to John Anstes. Fumbles, but he's got so much time, he can look inboard. It's like Cameron has changed his boots at halftime.
Yeah,
pair of white ones.
I know it's a ritual to even have an ice bath and change the shorts and socks and boots, and the ground's a little bit wet underfoot, or it's a humid night. Your socks and your boots get pretty soaked.
John Anstes. Going to have more room to move, but it's cut off. They go forward. Davin Ferreira's all on his own somehow. Goes to ground and got taken high in the process. He picks out his teammate, Erlitzen. Jared Erlitzen will go back and you would assume have a shot at goal.
And just quick play, just quick ball movement, see what happens, let's get it going, let's get it forward. And they're able to actually catch Saints off guard on the rebound. A couple of loose players, Davin Ferreira. Quick little chip over to Erlitzen.
This will be their first score since quarter time. Certainly got the distance, not a problem. Accuracy was off slightly to the right. They get their first score in a quarter. As Villagio looks for his options. Finds Carl Lode. Right on that 50-metre arc. Lode in short to Bath. Camera angle on that side of the field. Bath goes inside to Shannon Rioli. Over the top to Williams. They work it forward, St Mary's, very slowly, meticulously. Lode, though, on the end, can't pick it up. Here they come. The Eagles. Over the top, Patrick. Coombs in there, so too is Motlop. Patrick picks it up, stumbles though, got tripped. You think he'll go back and have a shot, Jared, I would think. He's got no options anyway, but this is well within his range.
Yeah, and he's been a little bit down. He hasn't had too many possessions so far in this game, so if Liam Patrick can connect well with his kick and kick the goal, certainly breathe a bit more of life into Wanderers. And you've got a feel for him at the moment. Obviously the change of game to a Tuesday night, the fact that they can't have a full bench, the fact that they don't have a full bench right now, this will mean a lot to the Wanderers faithful.
Largemanu lightning bolt comes in and from 48 goes forward, but it falls short. Nope, gone through for a goal.
So they've had the first 2 scoring opportunities, Wanderers, and you can obviously tell that and they just come from opportunities basically from St Mary's mistakes. So that's, when they come, when they present themselves, see numbers around the football there just to create the turnover.
He got himself involved quickly.
Yeah, and stayed in it. This third, fourth effort for Liam Patrick. Gets tripped and wins the free kick.
A risk here, Jack. Saints players playing safety often leads to win.
Yeah, you're spot on, Peter, and that's going to be the challenge for St Mary's and Rick Nolan. Not only having the same intensity as they did in the second half, but to get as much out of this game as possible if they have another week off before a grand final.
Load, steadies it down, regathers to Long. Long's handball hits the ground. Cameron Islett's up to it though. Quickly kicked away to Yaron. Nicholas Yaron looking for Clark on the lead. Big Raf Clark takes a sliding chest mark. Head down, he's got Yaron running on, the bloke who gave him the ball, and he picks him out. They've just gained an easy 25 metres. They'll go back and have a shot at goal directly in front, will Nicky Yaron from 25 metres out. Well, the Wanderers, the Eagles went into this game without Daniel, Thomas and Marlon Motlop, and without Simon Bates. They started the game with 20 on the bench. They've started the second half with 18. And as Yaron leans back into it and kicks for St Mary's 13th goal, 13-12-90 they move to, 6.5 minutes into this third term. For the Eagles, 3 goals, 2-20. So the challenge was ahead of him, Jared, before the ball was bounced.
Yeah, obviously it was. But the way they started the game, you wouldn't have thought that. A lot of heart, a lot of courage going to have to be shown here to play out the game. But Wanderers one week is certainly a different team the following week, no matter what happens.
Exactly. And they showed that the year they won the flag from 5th spot. Really hadn't shown much till Christmas time, and then they had to win every game after that, and they did, and they kept going, and then they won the flag. So nothing is beyond the club. As Coombs comes in, Storer, and then gets it back, then gets wrapped up, again that's pushed in the back, play on is the call, let go. Miles, oh, taken high. Was Daniel Wheatra. Patrick from behind, couldn't grab it. Fenton, he's got Cooper all out on his own, he's got a Paddock. Sides to kick, looking for McFarlane. Over the back though is Walsh. Walsh, the boundary line, and McFarlane.
Just watching Joel Capillo slowly get up in the forward line for Wanderers. They obviously can't afford to lose another player.
No, Dean Rioli just pointing then to the runner, Jacob Andre. Go out there and have a look at him. Benton off to Cooper. And he got dumped after disposal. Free kick will be further downfield, and it's in the hand of Peter McFarlane, who just as easy as you like picks out Luke Bath.
And unfortunately, Joel Cabillo's coming off.
Well, let's see if anyone goes on for him, and there is no one at the interchange gates. It's a major test of character for the Eagles, Peter Atkinson.
Yes, thought at half-time they have a chance they would finish less. Another player come to the challenge, 16 on the field at the moment.
Is there a risk of the game being called off if Wanderers don't have enough players?
To the field umpires, and the number's 14.
14?
Yep. 14 is the number as Williams sets it up and sends it in. Punched away by Clark. Cooper can't get clean hands, falls over. Mitchell Taylor can pick it up if he wants. He doesn't, just chooses to soccer it on. Labastida and Tippin Woody. Labastida wrapped up. Good physical work by the Eagles, but they've just got numbers against them as Shannon Rioli decides to take off and go for a canter. Puts it on the boot to the leading Ewing.
There's just two brilliant pieces of play there by one Adam Tippermudi, the speed and just second and third effort to try and run down Shanarioli. But then Shanarioli is all class to hit Darren Ewing on the chest under that kind of pressure. Good football.
Ewing got the Eagles crowd behind him and they're not encouraging him. He's put it through for a point. Kind of stabbed at that then, didn't Darren Ewing? 92 plays 20, 13-14 plays 3-2. 10.5 minutes gone in this third term. The Eagles down to 16 players at this point. As Vivi puts it on the boot, Drugamullah is at the fall of the ball. Doesn't have a lot of options. He's got Ferreira. In fact, he doesn't go to Ferreira. He picks out Bo Cabillo. Bo has got to kick to a contest. Liam Patrick over the top, hands. Tippermudi came in. Same with Islet. Load. Steps around Motlop. Sends it back to half forward. Storers there. So too is Drugamullah for the Eagles. But it's Ben Rioli trying to pick it up now. He still can't get it. He's got options. Turns inside. Oh, met heavily there was Fenton. Ben Rioli cleans up that and gives it off to Kinthari.
Yeah, Miles was just 1 on 5 then. As soon as the ball come to the ground, you had the likes of Cooper, Ben Rioli, Shannon Rioli, Nicky Yaron just there ready to pounce. The ball ends up with Francis Kinthari.
Peter, just quickly, do you think Francis Kinthari will poll well in the Nichols medal? We'll come back to him at the moment for that thoughts, but Kinthari just slots that through, and if I'm not mistaken, that is goal number 45 for him for the season.
Yeah, first for tonight, so he has had a couple of shots on goal and missed on that occasion. Set shot gets full reward.
Just fantastic balance, Ben Rioli, hasn't he?
When he needed to, he picked it up cleanly and hit the target.
14-14-98, plays 3 goals, 2-20. We see Raf Clark taking a breather. Smith taps it to himself, can't pick it up. Taylor's been brought into the middle. Running out of there is Bath. He gets to the 50, loads it up and goes goalward. Long, looking for in fact, it's Storer.
Clean hands by Storer.
Clean hands played on and then kicked it up into the post for a point. Well, he did all the work then. He probably should have gone back and had a shot. Mitchell Taylor. Well, they've got a 2-man overlap and somehow the Eagles player Walsh finds space. Sends it up forward, Hurlitson versus Anstess. Tippermudi in there as well. Hurlitson diving on it, appealing for a push in the back. Doesn't get it.
Looks like Henry Labastita's gone to Adam Tippermudi.
Couple of speedsters. Smith with a big punch down. Labastita got his hands on it. Cabillo, quick kick out. Davin Ferreira leading to the race of the ball. Yaron, though, picks up the crumbs. Cameron Islet, last line of defence. Picks out Mikey Coombs. Coombs has got Kinthari. It'll hit him on the bounce, but he has time. Beats the tackle, then gives it back to Coombs. Coombs can run on. He's got McFarlane. McFarlane taps it up, then brings it back down. Knew what he was doing the whole way. Picks out Fenton in the middle of the ground. Fenton chips over the top. He's got Bath. He steps around one, then handballs. Interfered with, comes to Ben Rioli. Back over the top to Bath. Kinthari's there as well. Hurried, up and under kick. Won't go the distance, punched away. Walsh cleans up. Drugamullah dragged down, handballs it away. As Ben Rioli soccers off the ground, but the ball got touched. It's through for a point. Walsh. Oh, the flyer was Yaron. One hand up. Got it, couldn't quite bring it back down as Cooper's in there. And the pass came from Clark. He gives a quick hands off to the running Shannon Rioli. Ben's in there. The ball's gone through for a point. Jared, you were shaking your head then. You thought they wasted that?
Yeah, look, I think if you're going to have a set shot inside the 50,
go back and have the shot.
Go back and have the shot. I think that's the most you're going to get out of the game at the moment for St Mary's. No point mucking around with the football.
It's percentage football. Patrick. Miles with body. Clark got out of it to Vivi. Aaron Motlop can't pick it up. Socket off the ground by Ferreira. Tippermorty picks it up one time, then back to Aaron Motlop. Then it's a chip over the top. Cabillo sends it up to full forward. It'll bounce all the way through.
It's great to see that he's recovered. He did come off, but he's recovered well. Come back onto the field, and again, that space over the back, when Wanderers can get it there, it's very dangerous from the ball bouncing through for a goal.
Well, I'm not sure that if the Eagles have got 16 on there, I wouldn't be happy if I was Rick Nolan.
Yeah, well, that's right.
Unless he's evened up the ledger and taken a couple of players off, but I haven't seen that work. So at 14 goals, 17, 101 to 4 goals, 2. 26.
Good shepherd there by Jared Ellenson as well in the goal square. So the Eagles certainly still doing the team things.
Certainly Labastida is free in the defensive half, and so too is Lode, and so too is Justin Cooper. Bath with a look-away handball that didn't go anywhere. Joel Cabillo assisted last time round. Looks out for Liam Patrick. It bounces off his chest. Socket off the ground by Anstess to open space. Cooper's in there, though. He's on his own. He picks out Smith. Onto Bath. Bath has time. Looks over the top to Yaron. Yaron spills it, but has time to pick it up. Then put under pressure by Ferreira. Quick kick further forward, and a free kick will be paid upfield. Ferreira was too late in putting his tackle on. Clark plays on quickly and picks out Ewing on the lead. 40 metres out. He'll kick from outside the 50 if he wants to go back and have a shot. He'd be encouraged to, I would have thought, as we approach the 18-minute mark.
Oh, I don't think there's too much encouragement coming from the Wanderers supporters.
Well, certainly not
right
from the Eagles, but the St Mary's supporters will be saying, go back, and he goes chip over the top, and he does. It's not a great kick. Iggy Villaggio was the target, but it bounced at his ankles.
Oh, it definitely got in his head. They got in his head, the Wanderers supporters.
Well, I don't know if they were booing him or laughing at him, but they were certainly having a joke with him, and there was a wry smile on Darren Ewing's face. Pretty good field position for St Mary's here to add to their total. Drugamullah dragged off it. Ferreira picks it up quickly, then puts it on the boot. The runner's right in the middle of it. Labastida. Nice soccering pass to Williams. Williams goes into the pocket looking for Clark, and he finds him. Raphael Clark.
Surely he'll go back and have a set shot.
Well, we could only hope so. Has the runner gone out to him to tell him to? Percentage football, even in days like this where you have a distinct advantage. I'm all for trying it, but percentage football still counts.
Up until now, there's been 12 different goal scorers for St Mary's. Ref Clark doesn't add his name
to the list.
To that list.
Slid off for a point. We're less than 30 seconds away from time on here in this third term. Mitchell Taylor has had to really lift his work rate in this third term. Load. Oh. Over the back. Yaron will clean up the pieces. He's got plenty of options. He's just got to find one. Goes in for Fenton, who's got to hurry and get a handball away. Picks out Cooper. He dances around 2. He's got Cameron Eilert. Eilert can go all the way across to Jack Long at centre half back. Long just holds up. He can go short if he wants to Kinthari, but he wants to go up to centre half forward. In fact, he goes to the middle of the ground, picks out Load. Lode's got Cooper. Cooper has space. He can have a look, so he touches it down, leaves the ball behind, but he gets it back. And he picks out Bath. Bath from 49 will line it up and go at goal. And out of bounds on the full. Wasted. Entry into the 50, Jared. Wasted.
Yep. And that's the 2 key words from the first quarter that I had down for St Mary's. They had plenty of possession. Certainly just wasted opportunities. And yeah, I guess it's just that one of those kind of games at the moment.
This must be incredibly frustrating from an Eagles coaching point of view. They can only do so much with what they've got. You can't fault the effort of the players out on the field, but they're just overwhelmed by numbers. There's advantages paid. Shannon Rioli looks in short and goes into Raphael Clark. And Clark will go back and have a shot 30 metres out. Emergency umpire out on the field. Just keeping an eye on things. I think he's going to have a shot, Jared.
I think it's...
the runner's going over to yelling at something. He's probably telling him to have a shot.
Raph Clark, second shot at goal in a couple of minutes. Doesn't make a mistake this time round. And he does add his name to the goal scoring list.
And St Mary's get their 15th goal. They go to 15-18, 108. 22 minutes gone in this third term, and they lead Wanderers 4-26. Just 17 points the margin at quarter time. Blew out to 70 at half time.
See Nook Mansell coming off limping as well. Spent a bit of time on the ground stretching his calves, so whether it's just a cramp or corky, something like that. Just another one down, unfortunately, for Wanderers. And the disappointing thing about this, leading into the game, Tuesday night was actually a positive. Everyone's looking forward to the game. We know these two teams, when they play, it's 1.2 points the difference normally in finals football. Obviously, the sting's just been taken out of it.
Well, it was reflected in the gate as well, because they clearly 2,600, nearly 2,700 people shared your optimism in terms of what the game might be, Jared, because they came in through the gate and they stayed to watch it.
Especially on a school night.
Especially on a school night. As it comes over the top, taking off is the sprinter Kinthari, beats 2. Now gives him time to set himself and have a look at the goals, and he goes long, and it's a good one. And the all clear is given.
Bit of what air magic there.
The what air wonder just demonstrated why he has been the second best goal kicker for St Mary's this season. I've got to say to you, he's rapidly closing on Peter McFarlane as well. There's only 3 goals the difference before this game. Look at that. Again, beautiful balance, Jared.
Good thing about Francis is he's not only he's quick, but he's also pretty strong through the hips and upper body.
Yep.
So he keeps his feet most of the time in the contest.
Peter, what do you think about the challenge ahead for Wanderers from here? I mean, you know, they're playing minus 18.
I think individually the players will effort in until the end of the game. I guess individually they'll try and fill roles, but the biggest damage I think is probably being done to St Mary's.
Really? And in what take? They're having to work very hard anyway.
Well, there's no pressure on them. There's no finals intensity. There certainly doesn't feel that way at ground level. And just a couple of times the players have been a little bit leery. So I think Rick Nolan will pick up on that at three-quarter time.
Back on centre wing, 2-on-1. Hands and knees was Miles, but not much you can do about it as Shannon Rioli skirts away with it. He's got a target, and that's Williams. Couldn't mark it. But he's got time, swivel around on his right foot. It'll bounce and bounce all the way through.
Jack Williams, a snap on his right foot, normally a left footer. Pretty happy with that one, and he's done a fair bit of work too through the midfield for Saints tonight.
17 goals, 18, 120. 25 minutes gone. Plays 4 goals, 2. 26. How do you pick out, Peter, best players in a game like this?
Oh, well, it's very difficult because there's just no pressure in the second half. The players that set it up, though, were those that you'd expect to stand up in finals, like Paredes and a couple like that. And players like Shannon Rioli have been relatively quiet, so they're going to be ready for a big one in the grand final. But, you know, whether this game's good preparation for them, big question.
And that leads into, I think, the discipline that both teams are going to have to show. One, obviously undermanned, but two, St Mary's are obviously dominating the game. They're just going to have to show a lot of discipline to keep the work rate up, to get as much out of it as possible.
It's a certain type of discipline, isn't it? The captain, Peter McFarlane, at quarter time spent some time talking to the whole group, pleading with them not to retaliate to any situations. But now this is a different type of discipline, and you just can't. The experienced players will be okay. The young guys might be the challenge.
Keeping yourself focused. Challenge really for both teams. Oh, taken high there. Just missed that. That was Ben Rioli, and he's earned himself a free kick for it. This is what Peter's talking about from a discipline point of view. I guess Peter McFarlane was talking about not to retaliate.
Yeah, that's the third head high, though, Ben Rioli's copped in this game.
There's been a few tonight, and it might well be related to the conditions and players slipping, but not on that occasion. Not on that occasion, but the key thing being that the St Mary's players are in there to protect their player, but they weren't retaliating, and that's probably all you can ask for at this point. Ben Rioli, acute angle, puts it up high, but it goes across the face, punched away and out of bounds. The crowd really has stuck around to see what happens next. They know that these two sides will play it out to the end. Jack Long has drifted down into the forward 50 and taken a mark.
Well, you can just see that Carl Loade, Iggy Villager, all the backline players are up forward, so Rick Nolan has shuffled the team around. But three-quarter time.
To get them into the game, very important. Jack Long will go back here and have a chance to register St Mary's 18th goal. And in doing so, he secured that. And the margin extends to 100 points at three-quarter time. So it's three-quarter time here in the second semi-final. The winners through to the grand final. It is St Mary's with a very comfortable lead. 18 goals, 18, 126 lead the Eagles. Wanderers, 4 goals, 2, 26.
Take a week to get the crabs out of the car.
Local knowledge is important, and with a 15% online discount, it's now easier to get TIO comprehensive car insurance. TIOFI.com.au. TIO, we're for Territorians.
Life, so full of surprises. But you don't want a headache to be one of them. Get Panadol Rapid from Chemist Warehouse. It's absorbed 2 times faster than regular Panadol tablets, so you won't miss life's special moments. Panadol Rapid. When pain is gone, life takes its place. Available at Chemist Warehouse for the lowest prices guaranteed. Intersport, new concept store now open in Casuarina Square. Come in and check out a world-class shopping experience. Dedicated sports zones, men's performance, lifestyle, basketball, all new women's zone from running to yoga, and Intersport Kids Zone, all ages, performance footwear and apparel, plus the new dedicated football zone, all year for all codes. For awesome service and advice, come in and see us. The all-new Intersport concept store, Casuarina Square.
We're back live here at TIO Stadium during the three-quarter time break, and there is an intense discussion occurring in the middle of the field between Dean Rioli from the Eagles and Steve O'Brien and Daryl Griffiths. St Mary's are breaking from their huddle and are going out into their positions. The Eagles players are staying where they are. Judging by the gesturing that was occurring at the three-quarter time break, it may well be that they were asking for the game to be called. The margin's 100 points. Jared?
Yeah, well, obviously the Eagles only started with 2 players on the bench and has subsequently suffered a number of injuries up until this point. Yeah. So they've actually had to only play with about 16, at times 15 players on the field. And I believe if there's only 14...
Well, just looking at the huddle there, the Eagles look like they're going to go on with it, but there's a few players signalling, a few of the supporters around saying, keep your chin up, keep your chins up. The umpires haven't gone out to their positions yet. There is a very intense discussion in the middle. Peter McFarlane has now injected himself into it. We're looking at live pictures there. So Wally Gallio is the high-performance umpire manager on the right-hand side. Daryl Griffiths, one of the operations managers here at the AFLNT, and the Wanderers players look like they are breaking, but they are not in a hurry. Mitchell Taylor is heading out. Everyone's sort of wondering, and Peter McFarlane looks to be heading off the field. I don't know if he's, and Daryl Griffiths is walking with him. It'll be interesting to see if we can get a picture of Rick Nolan and what he's doing, and whether or not Rick Nolan is actually leaving the field. Well, interesting scenes here at TIO Stadium, and whether or not they will continue on. Peter McFarlane now signalling to the coach's box, asking for Rick Nolan to come down. And the St Mary's crew and supporters are looking up to him to get him down. Do you want to play on is going to be the question I would suggest he's going to be asked. Now, the margin at the moment is 100 points. 18 goals, 18, 126 to 4 goals, 2, 26. The Eagles started with 20 players. You're allowed 22. They went down to 18. And for most of that third quarter, they played with 16. This is extraordinary.
Some serious questions need to be asked. How do we get to this point? In a semi-final, how did we get to this point?
In the premier competition in the NTFL, good question. Well, the Eagles look like they're taking the field as Rick Nolan comes out. They're not breaking just yet. Most of the Eagles officials have left. It's interesting. People like Shannon Motlop are actually dressed and changed. Neil Vivi's pointing, having his say, but it's pointless, really. It's really got to come down to see what the... Well, McFarlane's heading out to centre half forward, which is his true position.
Well, the key is that the administration is still on the field.
Yep. Griffiths is talking to... Daryl Griffiths now makes his way back out there. The umpires are waiting for direction. One of the match managers are left, Steve O'Brien. That's it. Time has been called. This match is over. And so the result after 3 quarters will be that St Mary's progress to the grand final here in the NTFL. And their winning margin will be 18 goals, 18, 126 to 4 goals, 2, 26. The two teams are shaking hands. Peter Atkinson, you've been involved with football for 40 years in the Northern Territory. Have you ever seen anything like that?
Not in these circumstances, and it's certainly a factor in it was their inability to field 22, and I think some serious assessment of how they arrived at that decision is certainly the first thing I'd go.
And so, Peter, Dean Rioli's decision, do you think, was really a duty of care, or was he looking forward to Saturday? What was it about?
Oh, I think it's a duty of care. I think that was the way they were talking when I was out there at three-quarter time. And that's the argument that was used at the weekend by the league and can't be now thrown back. They've got several players already have changed that were injured in the first half, and they were certainly down to 16, and perhaps they had more injuries than we're aware of.
Jared, that's a disappointing end to a degree, isn't it? I mean, two sides that have been rivals, historical rivals over a long period of time.
Well, everyone came here tonight, so 2,600 people, roundabouts, to see the best two teams in the competition go head-to-head.
Yep.
For a grand final spot. So, all the circumstances leading up to this, yes, the cyclone warning, Cyclone Blanche, impacted the game on Saturday night, and I think there's nothing you can do about that. That's just Mother Nature and the weather, and
part of living in the tropics, isn't it?
Yeah.
Part of living in Darwin.
That's right. But all the circumstances around having 20 players on the field, to not give the two best teams in the competition a clean slate. Tuesday night, everyone's looking forward to it. We know these games are high intensity and really close during the final series, and it's just very disappointing from all angles, I suppose, from the spectators that have come down, the fact that St Mary's is going to be disadvantaged by not having a solid hit out, the fact that there's going to be some real injuries concerns for Wanderers leading into Saturday's game, so there's a lot of serious consequences to how we ended up to this point.
I've received several faxes already, or emails, texts from interstate people that are looking on. They just can't believe what they're seeing.
Well, I got to say to you, the margin's 100 points the difference, but it feels like a draw. There's that empty sense of emptiness. I understand entirely where Dean Rioli is coming from. The question I have really is, how is it that a club that has played however many players during the season is not able to then elevate players from its lower grade into its Premier League team? I don't understand that. The days of being able to... From Premier League down, I get that blockage. But from the lower grades, under 18s, Division 1 up, I don't get the flow up.
And when you look at a lot of the talented footballers that can play senior level start at the age of 15, 16, being able to play. And I remember playing my first final series when I was about 17.
Yep.
And the experience that you get from that is immense for the club culture, for your personal development. So all those kind of opportunities obviously weren't there tonight for Wanderers.
Well, I've certainly over the years seen situations where clubs have promoted under 18s because of the circumstances of a lot of injuries very late, and a grand final opportunity has presented itself, and some of those players have gone on to have huge careers. So a rule like that is just, it just doesn't make sense to me.
Well, I mean, sadly, if you want this to happen at any time in the season, you don't want it to happen in your finals series. Let's be honest.
No, well, we might
just go quickly. You've got some stats there. Just quickly. So just a final reminder on the score before Jared Eilert goes through some of the goal kickers, and before we all finish off, we'll probably give our tips for Sunday, if you don't mind, for the Nichols medal. But St Mary's, 18 goals, 18, 126 to 4 goals, 2, 26. No play after the three-quarter time break. Play did not restart. Jared, what goal kickers have you got?
Yeah, so for Wanderers, Liam Patrick, Adam Tipamudi, Davin Ferreira and Joel Cabillo, 1 each. For St Mary's, 2 to Ben Rioli, Henry Labastida and Francis Kathari. Singles to Cameron Eilert, Raphael Clark, Shannon Rioli, Nicholas Yaron, Jack Long, Darren Ewing, Trent Storer, Nathaniel Paredes, Jack Williams, Peter McFarlane, Justin Cooper and Jackson Geary. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Only 6 players didn't kick a goal.
And their positions will probably be the ones with question marks over them leading into the grand final in 2 weeks' time, you would think, if Rick Nolan. And just quickly, Jared, have you got any thoughts on a Nichols medalist for Sunday?
Nathaniel Paredes.
Nathaniel Paredes. Peter?
Yeah, I just think because of playing nearly every game, bar 2, the coach of Nycliffe, that win his second medal.
Good choice. I'm going to have to go. I'm going to throw out 2 names if you don't mind. Troy Coates will be 1, and I think Phil Wills will finish in the top 3. All right, that's what we have here. Second semi-final. St Mary's through to the grand final for season 2016-2017. Wanderers will regroup from this position and hopefully present themselves in the finals week again. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Ashley Manakaris. I'm with Jared Eilert, 2 times Nichols medalist, and our boundary rider was Peter Atkinson. We'll be back next week with the grand final on Southern Cross Television, brought to you by our broadcast partners Kennards Hire and Alpa.